Good morning, everybody, and it's a beautiful Sunday morning, at least here in the beautiful Commonwealth of Kentucky, USA. And I just want to get off started with talking about my new YouTube channel. I was totally against going YouTube for the fact that, number one, a damn good friend of mine that runs other groups, of which I moderate in, told me that it's a big bunch of hoops to jump through. It's just not even worth it, you know. And I was like, well, that kind of turned me off of, you know, doing anything on YouTube. So anyway, Facebook has come to a point to where now every video that or video or live session that I do, like right now, they delete after 30 days old. So I don't like that. I think it should stay in the group at least longer than 30 days, you know. I can't download them on my phone because it takes up too much room on a phone, you know, and then I have to move them to a laptop, which I have done. I have recovered all the videos that I could in my group and put them on my laptop and moved them to YouTube, okay? Like I said, I'm totally against YouTube. But anyway, and we're going to get to this. We're going to get to this this airplane here in a minute. But I just want to start off by talking about the channel that I created. And to be honest with you, yeah, he was right. There was a lot of hoops to jump through. Passwords here, passwords there, hoop here, a hoop there. Oh, man. If it wasn't for my wife, I'll be honest with you, if it wasn't for her, I don't think I could have got through it. I mean, I'm intelligent. I've worked on aircraft my whole life. But good God, why do they got to make it so hard to have a channel and put videos on it? Oh, what's so damn hard about it? You know? So, anyway, it was a struggle. And now I'm to the point where I understand from my wife teaching me how to upload videos to my channel. So, I can't possibly do them all in one day, nor do I think I want to. I spent most of my day yesterday because it isn't like you think. It doesn't take just a few seconds to upload a video. It takes time per video, you know. And there's hoops you got to jump through to load your videos on the YouTube. So anyway, I know how to do it. I'm in the process of loading all my videos on YouTube so they don't get deleted on Facebook, because Facebook is deleting them after 30 years old, or 30 days old. All right. So, all right. Enough about. Well, I do want to mention the fact that I've got quite a few viewers just in one day yesterday. I'm up over 20 viewers just in one day. I mean, that's great. I honestly thought, well, you know, what am I going to get? One viewer a day? I mean, I didn't have these great expectations, you know, but I'm completely satisfied with the way it's going. I've got like 100 views or close to it just on one video alone. You know, that's phenomenal. I mean, I get a lot more views than that in my own group, but it's over a period of time because not everybody sees it right away. It may take them, you know, a week to see it before they watch it or whatever. That's the idea of leaving them in the group instead of deleting them. Facebook won't leave them in the group. You know, I don't know what the deal is, but they won't do it. Anyway, enough about the YouTube channel. And by the way, I would really appreciate any of you subscribing to the channel. I mean, it doesn't cost nothing. You just hit the subscribe button. Then you can watch all my videos. Okay? That's it. Doesn't cost a thing. Anyway, as promised, we're going to get to this. And I'm going to bend you down here and show you this. This is the dust I was talking about the other day when sanding. The plastic dust. This is the same dust that I use to mix with glue and fill cracks with. So I know it looks like something else, but I promise this isn't going up anybody's nose. All right, this is just plastic dust. And what I have done is we have filled, and I use the testers. I'm totally against the testers because it's not very workable like the Tamiya is, and it's not, you know, as you can see here, you know, it's hard to smooth out. And I use a spatula. I use a plastic spatula. All right, so, but anyway, I wanted to save my Tamiya to skim coat over top of the testers once I got the biggest share of it filled, because I haven't got to the store yet to buy another Tamiya putty. Anyway, so I've sanded down this seam here, and you can look down it, and you can see it's getting there. It's leveling up real nice, and there's very, very little filler at all. There's a little more down through here, but that's because there was a crease through here, if you remember rightly. Matter of fact, you can see it on the other side. I haven't filled that one yet, see? Right here. That's got to be filled to bring all this smooth and cylinder looking. Okay, so that's what we're doing. So I use the testers in the deeper areas, and that stuff takes forever to dry. I'm telling you, it takes forever to dry for some reason. When you use the testers, I mean, what I do is I fill it and then leave it for the day. Come back to it the next day. Because honestly, it won't be ready to sand till then. And then it doesn't sand that great. It just, I've told you that in another video. Anyway, enough about downplaying the testers putty. So, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to sand this seam here. I haven't touched this one yet. And I don't know if you can see how rough it is there, where I've tried to smooth it the best I can. But anyway, I'm starting out with a 220 grit, dry sandpaper. And then we're going to move to a 150. Now I cut these little pieces and label them so I know exactly what they are and what I'm grabbing. And with the 220, you got to be a little careful. You don't want to press hard. Let the paper do the work. You don't want to put big grooves in the plastic, you know, because they're harder to get out. Just let the paper do the work. Yes, it takes a little longer. And the main thing with sanding is you don't want to get it hot, because when it gets hot, it gums up into your paper, and then it's no good. So I just work it back and forth, and sometimes I'll do a little bit of this quicker action, but then knock my paper out, make sure it don't get too hot. And all the dust that I'm creating is very minimal, and then when I get enough dust built up, I'll drop it onto the mat, and then I'll scrape it up later. Now, you have guys that wear these masks and gloves and even a respirator or what have you. Unless you're doing a real heavy sanding job, it's not needed, guys. You know, but you do what you feel is safe. I'm not telling you not to. I'm just saying that the only time I'll wear a respirator is when it's a real heavy job, you know, I think most of it on these channels you see with the glove wearing and the mask wearing is all for show. You know, it's just all for show. Excuse me. So I just had my breakfast. I had biscuits and gravy and eggs and bacon. What did y'all have? My wife cooked it. She's a pretty good cook. I love her cooking. But anyway, yes, the sanding is slow going. You just let the paper do the work, or you'll get into trouble with your paper. And this tester's putty is just ridiculous to begin with. It really is. It's just ridiculous to try to sand. And I've known that for a number of years now. I love the Tamiya putty. It's just so good. But, like I said, I've got to get to Hobby Lobby again, or just go online and order me some tubes. With as much scratch building and cutting and stuff as I do, I really need a couple of tubes on hand. Now, one thing I want to mention is when you get it down so far to a point, I like to go across the seam a lot to keep that cylindrical shape. Across the seam like this, just like this, instead of with the seam. Now you'll see me go with the seam every now and then, just to change direction, see, like I am now. Right through here like this. This is really built up high right here, so I'm gonna try to work this down a little bit. Right up through here. Every now and then I'm knocking the sand off, or dust, I should say. And now I'm thinking next Saturday, if everything works out right, Aaron Larkin will be joining me, and he's got some things to show you what he's been working on. And he just built a marvelous Corsair that he ought to be proud of. And it's the one that's on the banner now. Anyway, I think he'll be joining me if he can get free, he said. And by the way, I wanted to mention the fact that Aaron has sent me three more models, and in donation to me to build, along with some decals, some Warbird decals. And I'm really grateful to Aaron for that, because it was two of them I didn't have. And the Tamiya Corsair I had, but in fact I think I built it already a couple of years ago, and it's in a cabinet somewhere. I've got another Corsair. I think the other Corsair I've got is an Airfix. It's got all the bells and whistles on it, the flaps and everything. It's a real nice model. But anyway, I thank you, Aaron, for your contribution to my modeling. And You're a good brother to have. Not just because of that, but because we're brother in arms. And we tend to look out for each other. And that's just the way it is. Some people don't understand that fact unless they've served, especially in a combat situation. I've got 3 tours of combat under my belt. And but anyway, okay, we're getting it down there. But that darn testers, it just doesn't sand the best. See, we're getting it down there, but you can see I've still got a ways to go. I could go a little rougher, coarser paper, but I'm not going to. I don't want any deep grooves. We don't want to groove it up. So we just take our time. We don't want to heat the paper up. And listen, I'm not going to make this a long, drawn-out video. I just want to kind of give you guys the gist of what is going on here, because several of you said you were interested in this build. You wanted to see every aspect of this build, and I'm going to try to do that for you. I'm going to try. So, and you know, making these videos and doing these live shows and stuff, it's not as easy as a person would think, okay? It really isn't. Sometimes, you know, the camera angles, the angles I'm working at, because remember, I've got to see it too. So you're not always able to exactly see what I'm doing. And a lot of people don't understand that. Now, you've got these fancy guys that have got different camera angles and all that stuff. Well, you know what? That's great if you can afford all that, but I can't. I live on a budget, and I can't afford all that fancy equipment, you know, to get every angle where you can see every little detail going on what I'm doing. They'll have several cameras set up, you know, and I can't do that. You know, just can't do it. It's just too much. And besides, I'm old school, and a few of you already know that. Okay, so we're starting to get that down fairly decent now. Right through here. And let me take a look at it here. Now see, if I had other cameras, you could be able to see me looking down through there, but all I have to do is just switch between. But I'm not doing that because I ain't got the cameras, duh. Alright, so I think I'm going to get down a little bit further right here. And then we can skim coat it with the Tamiya. To completely level it out. Believe me, I hate all this sanding as much as the next guy, but it's part of it. It's part of it. Especially when you do what I do. I'm probably going to have to remove that piece of tape right there. Maybe. Maybe. Okay, I think I've got that down where I want it. Take a little 150 over it. Smooth it up a little more. Smooth it a little more. There we go. Knock all the dust off. Scrape up all my dust. See, I've got a pile of dust here. Now I may scrape all that up and put it in a little tiny container so I have it for mixing. Now let me look down this again. Okay. I think we're fine with that for now. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get my Tamiya putty. Now I don't have very much left. I may not be able to do every bit of this, but we're going to try. And I'll get to the other side at a later date and work on it. I want to get the one side pretty good. Get my spatula. Spatula is just a piece of 20,000 styrene that I've cut in a strip, and I use it to smooth everything out. Now, what I like to do is get 90% of the dust off so it spreads good. I put a little bit of water on a piece of napkin or paper towel, whatever you want to call it, and just wipe it clean. Fancy people with their big channels and stuff will probably use denatured alcohol or something like that, isopropyl alcohol, whatever pleases you. Whatever pleases you. I don't have to have anything but water on a napkin to get the dust off. Now, I'm going to open my Tamiya putty, and I'm going to run some of this down through here. And I'm going to spread it over it. And it dries pretty fast, guys. Okay. Clean my little, okay, so I have done all that in there. Now I want to get a little bit here. I'm just kind of tapping that down a little bit. And I might get a little bit through here. tap that down. Okay, good. I think. Now remember, I'm going over this with metal. And every little thing shows through the metal. Every little thing. So I've got to have it pretty darn good. And let's say you were painting it, I would still try to get it pretty dang good. And I think just a little bit right there. Okay, good. Clean my spatula. It's already tried to set up on my spatula. Better get the lid back on it. There ain't much left. Ain't much left at all. Alright. So now we'll show you what I got. So I've skim coated this whole large area over so we get that cylindrical shape through here and blend it all together, and along with the bottom side here, right here. That's what I just applied through here. So we'll let this cure until tomorrow. I'm going to be busy all day with the pool and stuff like that, and so I will set it up on my box to cure for tomorrow, and I'll get back at it tomorrow. I may not do that on camera, but and I got to get my dust picked up and put away, and So today was just giving you guys a little bit of what's going on there with the build. And yes, this part of it is boring, hard to watch at times, but I had a call for a few of you to look at this. So you wanted to see every aspect of this build, this conversion, to see what it entailed, and and by God, you got it, right? So we are really taking on that cylindrical shape now. That's really, really looking good. And I wanted to mention the fact too that with the newer model, which this was, that we cut off the humps, okay? The air brakes on the newer model are right here on the end, and they open up, you know, like that on the end of the tail here. Well, with the YF models, they weren't there. They weren't located there. They were located here, and they come up, one on each side. They come up. So I'm going to end up, in fact, I see the doors for them right there. But the doors I see, I had to look at my original photographs, and we'll cut out those doors in the exact locations and how big they are. Now, what I've decided I'm going to use is, remember I said this model was in great detail for what it is. It's in great detail. The if I can find them. The air brake actuators, where are they at? The air brake actuators are somewhere here. If I can find them. I'm going to use those. Where are they at? Just give me a second. Let me make sure I got the right thing here. Air brake actuators. Air brake actuators. Where are they at? Here they are. 12. Number 12. Okay. Let me find number 12. Where's 12? Here it is. Alright, so I'm going to be using this part right here. And what this done was this set on the back there, and you had a door on each side of this actuator. Now you can see the little cylinders and rods. There's 2 on each side there. You can see those. 1 there and 1 there, and then there's 2 on the other side. What I'll do is I'll cut this in half, and by the looks of it, I've just got to do a very little modification, and I'm going to reuse these on the actuators for the speed brakes here. Okay, so the newer model was here, the older model YFs were here. So that's probably going to be the next project after getting this done that I look into doing, and you guys will see that happen. And then from there, we'll probably look into opening up panels. I may or may not. We'll see. We'll see what happens after the speed brakes. But I definitely want to open the speed brakes up. Add to that look, you know. So I think that's it for today. It's about up to speed now. All I got to do left is a bunch of sanding and filling, and I think the next time I come on, I'll have all that done and show you, and then maybe start the speed brakes. So maybe one day early next week, I'll be back on to let you all guys see something in that effect. Now, I've showed you how to take your dust here, your sanding dust, your plastic, and gather it up, and you can put it in a little container, and you can mix it with glue to fill, you know, whatever with. It really works great. And it adds strength. You know, it's like adding fiberglass to resin, right? Same difference. You're adding strength to the glue. So, but anyway, you guys be aware of my YouTube channel. Go ahead and visit it. See how you like it. I've got a bunch of videos on there. Check it out. And I'll see you probably one day beginning of next week. I thank you all for tuning in. Have a great Sunday. Peace out.